Hi guys, my name is Cardano and today we will be discussing the do's and the don'ts of lab safety. This will protect you, protect everyone around you, including your classmates and your teachers. So first rule is very important. It is no food or drinks allowed in the lab. This is because they can spill, they can get contaminated, and it's just not good to be focusing on two things at once. Chemicals and food do not combine. Next one is to be vigilant and attentive, to follow directions, to not be horsing around. It is a place where there's many delicate things all over and you can mess up really easily. Third rule is to not wear any loose items because these can get in the middle of things. You can knock things over accidentally. They can catch on fire. And same thing with hair. Hair must be pulled back because, again, it can get in the middle of things and you do not want to lose your hair. The fourth rule is to wear your safety goggles. Your safety goggles will protect your eyes, and your eyes are not replaced. Something does get in your eye, then you must go to the eye wash station and rinse your eye, pushing water inside your eye with your eye open for about 20-30 seconds, and you should be good. The next rule is to read instructions carefully. You do not want to be mixing chemicals that are not supposed to be mixed because they can have really bad reactions. You want to make sure that you're mixing in the right amount of each chemical. And going with that, you also need to read the labels for each of your chemicals because mixing up the names of chemicals that sound or look very similar is really easy. So pay attention and make sure you don't make any mistakes in that area. Sometimes we put a little bit more of a certain chemical and we are very tempted to put it back into the main container where it came from. But this is a big no because sometimes chemicals can already be contaminated and it's just a no in the lab. You do not put back chemicals into their original container. Another big rule is to never directly smell anything. You must waft the smell. So a representation of this would be, if I were to smell it directly, that could really have harmful effects. So you would waft the smell towards you. The next rule is to not use any chipped glassware, and this is because it is prone to breaking more easily. And on top of that, if some glassware does break, number one, call your instructor and they will assist you, and two, never ever pick it up yourself. You need to clean it up with the right material. When using an open flame, you need to make sure that you are tilting the container or the test tube away from you because any fumes that can happen will go directly on you if not. So make sure that if the fire is right here, you need to tilt it away from you. And also, very important, keep all flammables away from the fire when using fire. In the case of a fire, I'm sure your instructor will let you know where the fire extinguisher is located, as well as a fire blanket that is mostly used when the fire happens to be on a person. If you guys are going to be using a microscope, please be careful with it. It is very heavy and very delicate, very expensive too, so carry it with both hands to make sure that it doesn't fall or break. In every lab, there is a booklet called MSDS, which stands for Material Safety Data Sheet. And here you will find all the information on what can happen when certain chemicals mix together. You can find the properties of each chemical that is located in the lab, as well as how to correctly dispose of the chemical. That brings us to our next rule, which is to properly dispose of all chemicals used in the lab. Some chemicals can simply be flushed down through the drain and nothing will happen, but others can intoxicate the waters of the city, so don't do that if that's not what's correct. Some other materials are also going to have to be disposed in the hazardous waste container, and make sure to know which ones those are. Last but not least, it is to wash your hands, regardless if you were using gloves or not, because some experiments call for gloves and some just don't. But wash your hands regardless because you might have touched something. That is it for the lab safety rules I will be explaining today, so I hope this was useful to some of you and that you guys enjoyed this video.